Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a review of The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han, and the books in the series are The Summer I Turned Pretty, It's Not Summer Without You, and We'll Always Have Summer. Now I have the, I guess a Walmart edition, I don't know, I got it at Walmart when I was visiting in the US, and it was like the trilogy, the 3 books in one in this like omnibus edition and everything. It was only like $10 for all 3 of these, so I thought that was a bargain, and I didn't know if I would like this series or not, so I thought I would get it like this, and this is one of my new favourite series. I also don't mind that I actually got it in a paperback edition, as I was going to buy it on the hardback versions, but then I found out that in the paperback editions they come with exclusive letters at the end of the book, which if you read the series and you love it, you will want to read these letters. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're buying this series, to try and make sure that you buy the paperback edition if you don't mind, so you can read those letters, because they are worth it, let me tell you. So this series is about a girl named Bally, and every summer her and her brother and her mother go up to this cousin's beach time where they spend time with another family, with 2 brothers and the mum and everything, and they spend every summer here at this kind of like beach house and everything. And they've done this ever since Bally was little, and it's a tradition for every summer for them to go and do this. Now every summer Bally has loved one of the boys from afar, but yeah, he hasn't really taken any notice on her in that way, until one summer he kind of does, except the other brother does too, and then she kind of has to decide which one does she go for, the one that she's always liked or the one that's always going to be like a best friend to her and everything, and to decide like which one she should be with. From the start I always thought it was going to be one brother, and at the very end of the book I was wrong, and I was pleasantly surprised. There's not one brother. There is one brother that I did like more, but that's because of circumstances, but I found that both the brothers had their redeeming features and their unredeeming features. I found that all the characters in these books were very real, they were flawed, and they were also though caring and considerate, and yet sometimes not. You know, they were flawed, realistic human being characters, and I really like that in a series when you can relate to a character because they're not perfect. This series gave me all the feels, and I actually cried in this series, which is surprising. I didn't expect to cry. I cried multiple times throughout this series. It wasn't noisy tears or anything, it was just tears running down my face from anguish that something sad that's happened in the book. Though at the end of the book I cried tears of happiness, and after I finished the book I cried for like 10 minutes straight, just tears of happiness. I don't know why I got so emotionally invested in this series, and I don't know when it happened. I think somewhere between finishing the first book and starting the second, I just got really emotionally attached to the series. I read the first book in one night, and the next day I finished the next 2 books in the series like in the span of like 4 hours, and so it was definitely a series for me that I couldn't put down once I started. Even though the plot is mainly her not choosing between these 2 boys, but it's about like friendship, and it's about summer, and it's about family and love and friends and friendship and all that, and it's not just about romance, it's about a lot of things, and it brings up some really important life lessons and everything in this series. I don't know why I'm not reading as much contemporary if contemporary is like this nowadays, because this just blew me away of how good it was. I was not expecting it to love it as much as I did. As I said, the characters can be flawed, but for me personally I like that. I don't like it when a character is also perfect and they don't have any flaws about them, because then you can't relate to them. With these characters I could relate to them, and that's what's important to me in a story, if I can relate to a character. Just because they're flawed does not mean that they're nice people, because they're lovely people, and I just became so emotionally invested in these characters and this storyline. So yeah, I absolutely love this series. It is definitely on my favourite shelf. I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't get the hardback editions, but then they wouldn't have had those letters at the end, and those letters were just worth it for me. if you've read this series and if you've read the letters, you know what I mean. Those letters, you need those letters at the end of the book. You're like, wait, give me those letters. So yeah, I absolutely love this series. I cannot rave on about how much I loved it, and I'm definitely going to rate this series 5 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely rate for you to check them out. Every book was fantastic. It kept me on the edge of my seat and I just couldn't put it down. So I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've read the series and everything, what you thought of it, if you enjoyed it as much as I did, or maybe you didn't, and I'd love to hear that. And like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more book related videos from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!